Welcome to the Prison Stories YouTube channel. My name is Abaddon, and today we are going to go over the scariest situation I've had in prison. Now, if you're new around here, no, I was not an inmate. I have been an officer in a state prison for about 4.5 years now. And on this channel, we go over some of the craziest situations and most interesting situations I've been in. And I might even have guests on the channel as well to share their stories. If you haven't already, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video, and we'll get right into this story. All right, so this story takes place on the gang unit. I worked on the gang unit for about 4 years. And this gang unit is like the main gang unit for the entire state. It's the heavies of all the head gangs. We have Serranos, Norteños, White Boys, Bloods, Crips, anything you can think of almost. And this situation happens to deal with a Crip. And it wasn't a fight, but it was an inmate that was very, very upset. So my unit split into two sides. We have the one side and the two side. And me and my partner, we hang out on the two side. And my sergeant and one of my other partners, they hang out on the one side. And so I work night shift, so a lot of the shift is pretty casual, but the first few hours of shift can be pretty crazy sometimes. And this night was no exception. Because it's such a dangerous environment, if we ever hear on the radio on the other side of my unit, hey, come help out in this section, or come over essentially to our other partner on the other side, we just go over there just to make sure everything's all right. So we hear, hey, come over to section 1 to our partner, and we're like, huh, all right, let's go over there and just see what's going on, just to be safe. So we start going over there, and we go into the horseshoe, and we have 3 sections in our unit. When you walk into the horseshoe, it's 1 on the right, 1 on the left, and 1 ahead, and the control room's in the middle. So immediately to our right is section 1, and all we hear is an inmate just screaming, and we're in the male section, so he's screaming really loud at the top of his lungs. Very, very loud. We go in there because our partners are in there. Our sergeant's in there. So of course we're going to go in, and we get up to him, and the yelling we heard hasn't been present since we've been in the section. But there's my sergeant and our partner standing at a cell door on the top tier. I'm like, I wonder if they're just mad. A lot of times we'll have really mad inmates, and we'll cuff them up, bring them to the floor, put them on the bench, and see what's going on. So I thought that's exactly what's going to happen on this situation. No big deal. But it quickly became the most intense situation I've ever been in. Even more than when I was punched in the face, which will be another video at some point. So I have no clue what's going on, but all I see my sergeant say to the dude in the cell is, are we going to be good? And he's like, okay. And he opens the cell door. And the inmate comes bursting out that door, pissed as all hell. And I think he's mad at us, but it actually turns out that he's mad at the inmate in the shower. And I guess the other inmate was a new inmate to the unit who just fished in and didn't know the respect rules of, you cut in front of my shower, I'm gonna be really mad. And this dude, he was I believe he was a Polynesian. I could be wrong, maybe a Samoan. Think close to The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. So this dude, he's not incredibly tall, but he is just naturally Samoans, polys. They're just built like fucking freight trucks. And they're half the time, especially in prison, when they work out so much, they're ripped. So this dude could snap any of us with one hand. And he comes out of that cell screaming and yelling. And our 2 partners are down the tier towards the shower from me and my partner that came to back them up. He's screaming and yelling and pointing down the tier towards them about respect. Now, if you've worked in the prison, or at least a dangerous one, you'll know that a lot of times inmates don't care if you're an officer or not. If they have an issue, especially when it comes to respect, they will get in your face about it. So I'm sitting here like, fuck, one of us pissed off the inmate, and he is mad. And the point that it got really real to me is when the inmate ripped his shirt off like it was a fucking thread off of his body. I'm like, oh fuck. And he's a foot away from me and my partner, but he's not looking at us. I'm really confused. Like, is he not mad at us? Because if he's mad at our partners, just because we're in the uniform, he's going to be mad at us too. So he's not projecting any of his anger towards us. So I'm getting really confused, but I'm sitting there like, dude, you two need to get to this side of the tier. We need to leave the section and we'll go from there. because that is a very dangerous situation. He could toss any of us off that top tier. And all of a sudden he goes rushing towards the other officers, and they're just standing there. I don't know why. And they know that he's not mad at us, but I didn't know that. Neither did my partner. I'm sitting there shitting fucking bricks. I've never seen an inmate so pissed before, especially someone that could kill someone quicker than any other inmate in there. And so he just starts body slamming his door against the wall so hard and loud that the inmates on the whole other side of the building could hear it. When we went back over there afterwards, like, dude, what was that slamming sound? We're like, that was a pissed off boy. And so he's slamming his iron door against the wall. I don't care if that thing is steel, iron, what. That dude could definitely, during an adrenaline rush and with enough rage, rip that door off the wall. It's happened before. And so I'm just waiting for that door to come off the hinges. And I still think he's pissed at us, but at the same time, I'm like, why the fuck are they not moving away from him? We need to get out of here. But like I said, the whole time they knew what he was mad at. And they were just kind of letting him get out of the system real quick so that they could talk to him. Which, thinking back on it, I totally, I would have done the same thing. But I had no idea at the time. And so every inmate in this section, there's 48 inmates or something. I don't remember how many inmates there are in that section. I think there's about 48 inmates per section in our unit. Every inmate in that section is just staring at the top tier like, what the fuck is going on? Because a lot of times the sections do not want to bring attention to themselves. They like to do their work. And by work, I mean whether it's drugs, contraband, anything that inmates try and do, they don't like to bring attention to it. They try and do it on the down low. Well, this dude's bringing all the attention in the world to his section. They're all looking at him like, what the fuck? But none of them have the balls to go say something to him because they know he could kill any of them. And he's just slamming that door like it's a fucking piece of paper against this wall. And when I mean slamming, he's using his whole body. He's using his whole side of his body, not just his arm, his hands. He's not holding the door. He has it, like, I guess with one hand, I think he had it. And it was pushing with the rest of his body, just slamming. Or something, I don't know. Maybe he was using the fucking bounce back of the door to keep slamming. I don't know. And of course, he didn't feel a damn thing from his adrenaline rush. And eventually, he stops and we're like, okay, let's just get you out of the section and we'll go talk about it, see what the fuck's going on. And so he comes down to the horseshoe, but as always, this prison, he's not going to go talk to the cops without other inmates at least witnessing, so they know he's not snitching on anybody. So we're like, all right, let's just hang out in the horseshoe. And he told us exactly what happened, and I'm like, dude, I will be honest, I gotta give you props. For one, you didn't punch him. You did not go fuck up that inmate. Two, we were right there, easy targets. You didn't take it out on us. You didn't actually assault the inmate. And I'm gonna give it to you. You took your anger out on that door, which, you can still get destruction of state property charged, but I'd rather him smash on that door than on another person, whether it's an inmate or us. And that kind of brings up another point, and you can let me know what you think if you also work in a prison or if you work with me, if you're someone that I know. We gained a lot of rapport with that section that night because we didn't activate an emergency situation, essentially. We did not make a big situation out of the thing, and that went a long way with that section. They said the inmates thanked us for not overreacting, filling that section full of OC or CS gas or pepper balls, but we stayed calm and just waited out the situation for a moment to see what was going on and worked it out. Is there other routes we could have taken, like, going out and then lighting that section up full of CS or pepper? Yeah, we could have. And a lot of people would have, and I would have had no problem at all with doing that. But we didn't. Nobody got hurt. The inmate was totally fine afterwards after he got that out of his system, and the night moved on smoothly. It's just another one of those situations that you don't know how you're going to handle it until you're put in that situation. It's very easy to judge and say how you would have handled a situation. I would too. But that was a very unique situation that I've never been in before, and I haven't been in since. So it was, yeah, I had to eat after that. My adrenaline from shitting my pants during that encounter was so high that I was drained. And that was only like a 2-minute encounter, and I was drained. That about wraps up this storytime video. As some of you may have known or may have seen, a video went live for a few minutes recently of me leaving law enforcement. I resigned, but I went back a few days later. But I'm gonna make another video titled "I left law enforcement, but I returned the next day," or something like that. If you are interested in hearing why I left, but then went back immediately, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It's gonna be a video that I need to plan out exactly how I'm gonna make it. But I'm gonna be making that video. And I have a whole list of other videos as well for this channel that I am about to be starting on very soon. I didn't upload for a couple months at least on this channel. Part of that has to do with why I left. But now I'm making videos again on the channel, and we're gonna have them a lot more often. And so I hope you guys stick around, and I hope to see you guys later.